But it's Saturday at Seafair 2011, and Heat 1A, just another boat race, except for the fact that you've got, I don't know, 1 million people watching, and you might know half of them. So, boys just threw the lines, and we're getting a countdown right now. Nate's done joking on the radio. Now it's time for business. Awesome water conditions for Seattle. You can see through here that the lake's like a mill pond right now, which is great. We really lucked out for this heat. Got to take it up nice and slow. Try not to get too much water into there, and try not to kill the engine. Give it a little bit of right rudder, and then once you're clear, then you start bending it through the turn. Once you're on plane, then Nate tells me shut off the igniters. Try to keep the igniters off unless we're trolling, just save the equipment. And right now just kind of getting a feel for the race course. Leg it out a little bit and play with the wing, make sure everything's right. You want to make sure it's right during the warm-up so that when you need everything, no big surprises. Bend it through the turn, enjoy the best water you're going to have for the whole heat. This is really the calm before the storm. Nate's kind of keeping me filled in on where everybody is. Cruising around 140, 150 miles an hour. Feels like a Sunday drive, really. There's just nothing going on. Trying to keep your nose clean, not going so slow that you're going to dig into a trough and spin it out or hook it. I've done that before. It's kind of embarrassing. So, getting a feel for landmarks. This is the first heat. They're the same from year to year, but we go so many different places that I forget about them. I don't know about the other guys. So, now that we're fighting for lanes, really trying to put yourself in a position to get an advantageous lane. We've got the 96 in this heat. They're fast. Doesn't seem to make any difference where you put them. They're going to motor on ahead. But we got some medium fast other boats that frankly we should be beating. And so, you don't want to give them lane position, put yourself in a situation where you can't get out of it. So I'm not typically one to do a lot of course cutting for no reason. So I just typically go out there and kind of ride around, get the feel for the boat, get the feel for the steering, make sure nothing's wrong. I think there's Super Dave coming out in front of us there. He's big on the course cutting. That guy doesn't run a full lap during a warm-up ever. He likes to do that, pull out in front of you and get in your way. Pretty typical. So now we're kind of getting ready to start jockeying for position and lining up. You can see the guys slowing down, and I want to get around them. There's Perkins on the inside, and I'm not sure right now who that is on the outside, but got a job to do at this point. Try to get up there, grab an inside lane, and I'm not afraid to go slow for as long as it takes to do it. And you got to be aggressive. You got to know where you are in the race course and where the clock is, and don't be afraid to get up and leapfrog somebody. Like I think that was the 7 that we just went by, and Litico likes to fight for the inside too. So you know where you are and you're listening to the radio guy. Get up there and grab lane 1 just like that. So the big thing is when you're going this slow is you want to make sure and not put your fire out, which unfortunately, with the rollers that are coming around just from pleasure boat traffic and everything else, you can easily put your own fire out. I've done it before. And when you're coming up for the score-up pin and you're a little bit early like I am here, it is just agonizing, and you're gripping the steering wheel and you're just going, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, because it takes so long for these things to spool up. I mean, they're wicked fast, but they do not accelerate. And especially from near ground idle, which is where I am right now, you got to be there at a certain time, and then you got to get with the program after that. And so right now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to protect lane 1, keep the fire from going out, not get too far ahead of myself, but leave enough room to where I can accelerate at that exit pin, hit the clock right at a minute, and protect the lane. And so there comes Liticote, and he's you know, he's pushing now, so I need to speed up. But if you speed up wrong, then you're going to put your own fire out. And this is the chess match. And you know, people that say they don't like drag starts and they don't like you know, trolling for lanes, this is the exciting part for us drivers. And this is what I love. It's just like running 5-liter in the inboard boats. And so now you got to haul ass down the back straightaway and protect that lane, because if somebody comes with a head of steam on your outside, they can come around and leapfrog you, and that's what nobody needs. So now you're going dead slow. Now you're hauling ass, but you got to set yourself up to where you can get a solid run at the clock, and that's what all that testing is. All those timing runs that we do on Friday and even Saturday morning. So now you lay back just a little bit, you hit that timing mark, and now you're accelerating right now, coming around for that start. You get up there too early, like I'm doing right here, then you're giving it away to the guys on the outside. And then you get to play catch up. You know, Liticote's a little bit better on his mark. I'm slowing down. I got ahead of myself, and now I got to go chase these guys down. The good thing is I got lane 1, and I've got a boat that can take it. And it looks like Scott was up there just a little bit early too, and now we're ready to rock and roll. Come around for the green flag. Scott had to slow down, and I passed him up. Got way loose right there. That's a little bit higher than I'd like to have it, but good for the cameras. Oh, wicked turn right there. Left sponson hiked up something fierce. So you got the 96 out in front there, and he's going to check out. But now what it is try to run a smooth lane 1, lane 1.5 race course. And you got Perkins out there on the outside too, and he made a good start on the outside, but he's in a less advantageous lane. The problem is that Super Dave cut me off right there, and now I'm running in his slop and his rooster tail, and I took a major couple of hits in there, and it does nothing but slow you down about 40 miles an hour. He had overlap, but you know, frankly, didn't need to do that, but hey, who am I? I would do it to him, I guess. So now you got Perkins up in front of me, and he's got probably 2 rooster tails, and now all I got to do is try to dig in. I don't want a 3rd place in this heat. We should be running better than that. And so now here I am, I'm kind of forced right on the pins. Perkins is in 2.5 or so. He's leaving me a lane, he's driving me nice and clean, and now I'm within overlap with him. He could have shut the door earlier, and then realistically the heat would have been over, but for whatever reason his radio guy didn't tell him, or he decided to give me a little bit more room, and that's good for us in the 17. So real tight turn here, and basically going buoy to buoy, trying not to tag the buoy, trying not to ride up on that rooster tail, because you go on your head for sure if you get up in that white water at that distance. So I kissed that buoy, and yeah, I got some real estate to make up. I'm almost a full rooster tail behind. The 96 is checked out, and he's not a factor for either one of us, but I got to dig here, and Nate is screaming at me, but we had a great front straightaway there. Took up about half of the distance, and a phenomenal first turn. At this point, he and I are side by side, and now my confidence level is sky high, because I just pulled in almost a full rooster tail down that straightaway. Now you just let her buck down that back chute, and it's rough, and it's a little bit spooky, but we are side by side going into that last turn, and this is what it's all about. This is boat racing, and you know, to be able to do this with the kind of audience that we've got, and to be able to represent Red Dot and the other sponsors, Silver Cloud, for the 17, what an awesome way to start the weekend. So we pulled out to about a half a rooster tail lead coming across the finish line here, and you know, great way to start the weekend for us here at Seafair 2011. the end of the race, you know, you're weary, you've had adrenaline pumping, especially when you're side by side like that with somebody, and you know, hopefully the crew's happy, hopefully the sponsors are happy, you know your arms are happy, because you can just slow down a little bit, chill out. You gotta be careful though, because with it being as rough as it is, with these boats turning up the water, you gotta make sure and not hook it. And so, you know, we're running roughly 120 or so through here, just trying to, you know, kind of keep the boat attitude right. And then, you know, Nate will switch it over to Dave Bell, who's on the dock, and Dave will walk me into the dock, because oftentimes you got water on the windshield, glare coming off of that, you can't really see too much, and it's helpful to have somebody in there walking you in. The other thing is, when you're giving it a little right rudder coming into the dock here, it gets really, really wet, and you're trying not to kill that engine. So you got to slowly take it off the plane, and you know, kind of keep the nose up, try to keep the water out of the inlet. In the meantime, once you start slowing down like this, the boat doesn't react to the rudder anymore, or not real well. So you got to kind of be pointed into where you need to be. The nice thing about having the multiple cranes is that if you remember what crane you left from, you know where to head back to. So now all it is you want to get this thing docked safely, not take out the dock, and get out of that hot cockpit and get a glass of water. Maybe go talk to a camera guy or something if you're a hero. Dave's talking me in here. We're really off plane, only going about 10 miles an hour. Get ready with the fuel shut off. Basically keep an eye open for anybody else that might be coming through. Pull the fuel shut off. Then you start popping belts. Get that canopy open. Easier said than done. Get some fresh air. Woo indeed.